Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm so excited. How are you all doing today? I'm ready for justice. I'm really nervous, but I'm really excited. Doing good. Yay! Today we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. Thank you, Capcom, for the opportunity. I'm very honored. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. So we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy today, which just released, I believe, 3 days ago. So you can pick it up and play along as well. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look. Apollo Justice is a lot of my friends' favorite game, and I've always been very interested. So I'm very excited to be able to check it out today because I'm excited to know why so many people love Apollo Justice. And I think that he's really cute. So I'm nervous. I think I'm nervous for what's about to happen to me after this stream. The Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy is a collection of the 4th and 5th and 6th Ace Attorney games, and is all in one package. And it's the full titles of the games included. And the collection that we have today includes... First, we have, of course, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. He's so cute. Who are you? Who are you? Next, we have... we have Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, which is the 5th game in the installment. And then we also have Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice, which is the 6th entry in the collection. Very exciting. The animations look crazy. But yeah, this collection also includes a plethora of new features and quality of life updates. As you can see at the bottom here, you can play from the beginning with the new game option, or you can just go straight into episodes and you can just play from wherever you want, which I think is awesome. You can play from whichever chapter you want. You can start from the beginning. You can pick whichever episode you want. So you can experience the story either from the very beginning, or you can just go and replay your favorite parts over and over again, which I think is very amazing. The trilogy also includes a museum, which has a bunch of different features that you can check out. First being the orchestra hall, where you can check out a bunch of different OSTs from the game. You can pick out a lot of OSTs from the game, which is actually crazy. It says that there's 175 different OSTs that you can listen to from the game, which is actually insane. So you can listen to the soundtracks from all 3 games, plus there are 14 selected tracks from the Ace Attorney 15th Anniversary Orchestra Concert, and also the Ace Attorney 2019 Orchestra Concert. So you can go in here. I was checking a look. My favorite, the Steel Samurai, also in here. Very awesome. If you've played their first game, I've played the first game. Oh, if you've played any of them, you would know Steel Samurai is a very, very important part of Ace Attorney. You should even make it your phone ringtone. Get it? There's also the art library that you can check out, which includes a lot of illustrations from the games. I took a look for a bit. They have a bunch of illustrations, like the key illustrations from each game. They also have, which is very nice, character design. They also have character designs for the characters that you can look. Why is he so cute? You can look. You can look through the design process of the characters as well, which I think is really awesome that they include. it's so fun to see like the process. I think it's really fun that you can look at the process that they like. You can see a lot of personality in the sketches. Like, this is so cute. And I think it's really fun to look through them. These characters who I don't even know. But now I feel like I know them even more just by looking at what kind of expressions and personalities they were giving them through the design process. But yeah, you can look through these for a lot of the game, for all 3 of the games. They also have cutscenes, the backgrounds, in-game illustrations, so CGs. A lot of things that you can check out. You can even see the special prologue for the anime of Spirit of Justice in here as well. Cool. And last but not least, very, very cool, is the animation studio feature where you can go to each different game and you can like... Each character model is in here with all of their animations. You can change the background, the music, and you can hear all the voice lines from the characters as well. So you can do whatever you want. Objection! So you can look at all of their different animations. It's so cool! Objection! Take that! Hold it! It's just so fun. You can see all their personality. Iconic point. Cute. Cute. Hair pop, eyes closed. That's so cute! What? What? That's so cute! What? That's so cute! What the heck? But yeah, you can look at you can look at all of the animations from all of the different games that are in the trilogy. So Dual Destinies, you can also look through all the different characters, street clothes, eye patch. Oh my god, there's so many. Objection! That's so cool. Take that! You can look at their different animations that they have. She's so cute! Wow! Death slam 2 times. Oh! Ah! What? That's so cute! Whoa! That's so cool! The thinking one is so cute. Oh my god, the embarrassed. Ah! So cute! But as you can see, you can look through a lot of the different options that they have, which gives you a lot of power while you're playing this game, because you can just stare at them forever and you can place a lot of characters in the situations that you want to put them in. It's him. Objection! I like the one where he's like sweating. When I think of Phoenix Wright, I think about this expression. It's a classic. Take that! I love this one. It's so funny. I really love how animated all the characters are in these games. But yeah, there are special episodes and special costumes that were only available in pre-order special contents before, but they're all included in this collection. So yeah, you can play through episodes that were not available before in this collection. It's so awesome! So we have, I believe it's these 2 cases over here. Oh, you see behind me. There's 2 special cases over here that you can now play in this collection. So yeah, It's all included in here. There's also autoplay mode and story play mode available in the game as well. So in the game, autoplay will proceed through the dialogue automatically for you. While in story mode, the game will also do all the correct decisions and solve all the puzzles for you. So if you just want to experience the story of Ace Attorney, you can play it in story mode, or you can play it in autoplay. Yeah. All up to you. And there's also a bunch of different languages that the game is released in, so there's a lot more opportunity for people to experience the games in the languages that you speak. So I hope you guys check out the game. Today, I thought it would be nice to play from the very beginning of Apollo Justice because I don't know anything about Apollo Justice. And while I can play any case, I could literally pick any case and just jump right into the game, I don't know anything about Apollo Justice, so I thought it would be nice to just play the first case to get to know the characters and get to know him. It's also been a while since I played an Ace Attorney game, so I'm excited! So, without any further ado, let us jump in to the first case of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney! Yay! The first case is so good, you're gonna love it. I'm scared! I'm scared! Turnabout Trump. Whoa. I hope my brain is... What? Whoa. What? This cutscene is crazy! Showdown time. Full house. You lose. Ah! What? What? No! Yeah! Oh my god, the transition! I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead? Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that. Dead! April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Ah, good morning. Hey. Good morning, sir! You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight? Wound up, sir? No! I'm loose! I'm fine! What is this? What? That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Courts of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. Oh, that explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. Apollo is so silly. We just started. Kristoff, I'm sorry. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift gotten, sir. I'm all over that drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes. Yes! I'm fine, sir. One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. What's happening? My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, and of course, and so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way! What? Whoa! Good, morning! Music volume is small. I can turn it up. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Meeting him. Cardiac arrest! I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So you're... Fine! I'm fine! Oh, Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney, and he's your friend. So why? You'll see. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir! What? Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. I didn't think he was gonna be this silly. I'm very shocked that he's this silly. He's so silly. April 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. The court is now in session. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice? And this is your first trial? Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. And you're quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, a defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust this case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have cords of steel? Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. I don't think that's the point. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see. Mr. Right! Wait, so that is Phoenix? Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player? Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I won't speak of it further then. The prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges. Mr. Payne? He has hair! Or, I think he always had hair, but now it's long hair! Wait, is this the guy from the first Ace Attorney game? The first one? Yeah, he grew it out! Yeah! The hairy butts! To think I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Oh my god! It's a reference to... Oh, not Harry. Larry. I'm sorry, Larry. Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Not Harry Butts. Larry Butts. Oh my god, the music! That was one thing I noticed on the title screen. The music was, I was like hyping myself up. I was like, let's go! Music is so good. I also really love the visuals. Something about like 2D is just so... Everything in this game, even like the 2D and the 3D, they're both just so animated, and it just gives the game so much life. Like, oh! Ahem. The crime occurred at Borscht Bowl Club Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer, and he hit him, wham, on the head, smack, killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was? A pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright. A pianist? This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to court record. Something to note, Justice. Wait, let me check the court record. Oh! What's this? There's a number inscribed on the back of the badge. Many numbers like it, but this one is mine. Proof that I'm an attorney. To tell the truth, I get a happy feeling inside just looking at it. Aww! That's so wholesome. Okay. Time of the death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Death caused by a single blow to the forehead. Cause of death resulting in blood trauma on the forehead. Sub-basement at the Bowl Club. Bottle. Cards. Cool. He's just sleeping. Yeah. Grape juice bottle used as a murder weapon. Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on it. No! No clues here. Oh. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with... borscht. What's borscht? The bottle is completely empty. Oh, food! I see. Type of stew. Oh! Beet soup. Oh, thank you. It's cold. Or it can be served hot or cold. Thank you. Boss at Gavin Law Offices, a first-rate defense attorney, and my trusted mentor. Phoenix Wright, pianist at the... I can't pronounce this. Formerly an ace defense attorney of some renown. Oh, this is the victim. Traveler only recently back in the country. Prosecuting attorney. For all his experience, he lacks a certain presence. Borscht. You got it. Oh! The T is silent. Thank you! Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in... all evidence is filed in the court record. Make practice of checking it frequently. A court record. Right. I've heard of that. Use E to look at the evidence so far. Confident in your ability to handle this. Right. Just use E. Sounds like it's some time for some hands-on action. So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this, Shady Smith fellow? I believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he's been out of the country for a number of years. Only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. He has some sort of connection with the defendant. That too is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Borscht Bowl Club on the night of the crime. They'd only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim cited the defendant's piano playing. Doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skills. At least not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was progressed at the scene of the crime. Wait a second! Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and out of itself! Indeed. It appears our defendant has fallen to become the best. Oh no! Has fallen to become the best sort of criminal.
Objection!
It's true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim, yet it was only that, a game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits. Silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs weathered in blue flame, know the final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify these present. An impressed woman. That'll be our first order of business here then. Find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. Testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. My pleasure. This is it. My first trial. Here goes nothing! Oh, it's time. Cross-examination. The competition. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. What? Pianist who can't play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can't defend. Ooh. Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Gavin for a refresher course in cross-examination? Yes, please. Better safe than sorry, especially this early in the game. Wait, what? Apollo? Yes, teach me! I know nothing! Indeed, your job, Justice, is to be mindful of the court record and the testimony. Look for inconsistencies in the testimony with what the courtroom tells you. When you found an inconsistency, that's when you present the conflicting evidence from the courtroom with E. But I didn't hear anything strange at all in the testimony just now. Good sign that you need to press the witness with Q for more information. Press him? Don't let the fact that he's a remarkable man hold you back. Get more information. But isn't Mr. Wright my client? Well, think you can do it? Yes! Thank you, sir! I think I can do it. I think you'd better, or we're gonna have a problem. Just remember, find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That's the cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies? Lies? Phoenix Wright? As if! Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Never, never, never. Can I save? Not that I need to or anything, but like, you know, there is an HP bar. Are you that worried? I'm scared. Okay, so from what I remember, when I played the first game, I would just press everything.
Hold it!
You can hardly play? Oh, I play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask. Respectable face I wear for a world at large. Then why are you really at the Bowl Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. They pay you to just play poker? That would seem to be the case. I'm a professional after all. Bah! Do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination was always a little bit limited, Winston. What? I played poker for 7 years in that little room, and I've never lost once. What? See why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible? Damn, he's built different. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? That's quite a history, actually. Bosch Bull Club used to be a gathering spot for the black market type back in the day. The black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. Smoky room, gambling hoods. You know, just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. Bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, Goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout. But little else. Why is there a window? I thought he said it was in the basement. Maybe it's not in the basement. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. Any rate, time to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. 2 decks of cards? Simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. Crime scene painting blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards is red, the other blue. As I recall, in poker you make 5-card hands. You can see how it'd be easy to cheat. Heh. Yes, game of hands. What did he mean by that? This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. That's right! It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime? Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I completely let that one slip by! Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right? There's something I'd like to make clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well. The defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. Did I do this one yet? Rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. No, I don't think I did this one yet. So, you claim you weren't gambling? That's right. It was simply a game. Didn't bet any money? Not even a little? The only thing at stake in our game was pride itself. Ho ho! Well put, Mr. Wright. Got a mind to play a hand of poker myself. The stakes? Your fate! Can we get back to the trial now? Complete silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Silence? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage. And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? He is a sneaky little guy! Great. Like I didn't have enough to do already. He's a sneaky guy! Poor Apollo! It's his first case! Phoenix, don't you remember your first case? You were freaking out too! Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something you said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now what was it? When you figure it out, I suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. A contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony? But why? Better check the court record. Okay. Grape juice. Wait, there's a contradiction? Oh no. My mind. I can't imagine Mr. Wright lying in the testimony. I need to remember what he said. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right. I got it. I'm fine. Time to listen to that testimony again. Pianist by trade, hardly play at all. Real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. Room where we play, competition, club's main attraction. Simple, we play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game about... Customers are happy. Never say I touched the murder weapon. Oh no. But he did, right? I thought it had his fingerprints on it. When I checked the bottom. The bottle is completely empty. Show me the label again. Grape juice. Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well... Wait, I thought it did. Unless it says it on the outside and I'm just... There's the defendant's fingerprints. Oh, take that!
Objection!
Oh, objection! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon. This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Is he doing this on purpose? Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Oh my god! That was such a beautiful animation. Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints! Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. He's so cute! Oh my god! Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't... Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down. Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted. And there can only be one reason for that. Oh no. Yes. To brain someone with the bottle. Ah! Mr. Gavin! I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see. Defendant! Can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I was taking a drink. Stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that... Really? Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? Victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in this hallway to go above the ground. Oh, so it is in the basement. Call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see. And this is the phone that made the call? The cell phone has been added to the court record. The defendant could have just fled from the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he's being uncooperative? Nice save, Mr. Gavin. Better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime? That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up until now has been warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. Oh no! What? Cute girl. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? I surmise that she's been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. Whoa! So I use a little hair gel. Relax, people! Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You... are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you're sure it is, okay. Poor Apollo. Now, the prosecution... wait a minute! Can't take photos in court! Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's, paraphernalia? Yes. She's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be... My name is Olga O'Reilly. Employed as a waitress in Brush Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it's my pride to serve broche that is naming... Of course, it's my pride to serve broche that is naming restaurant. But I also perform... How is it said? Other services. I take it one of these other services is taking customers' pictures. Da. Like, for example, this one. Oh. That's... the defendant! Indeed, on the night of the murder, man in white hat is the one who's gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Toes? Stop! That's the first place you guys look. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence that casually dropped into our laps. It's the same way as I drop cold bowls of roche on laps of customers. Casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Her photo has been added to the court record. Now, witness. Where were you at the time of the murder? I was in room The hideout, we call it. Excuse me? The hideout? It's a room where a famous gangster bad guy was arrested. It's a room where murder took place. What? A look of utter surprise. It's lovely. I'll post my courtroom door later for you. Photos will be numbered, and you'll write which ones you want a copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime? The victim, Mr. Wright, and Miss Olga are witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. I'll testify to the court about that night's events. Okay, wait, before that, I'm gonna look. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. There's gotta be something I can look at. Oh. Duct tape? Wow, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape. He should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it. Or he just doesn't care. Open it! Open his phone. Phoenix. I guess that's it. No clues here. Piano, dogs out, bread, food, bottles. And they're just talking. It's so cute. The art is so beautiful. Testify the court about that night's events. Alright, let's see her testimony. Fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for the game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on, yeah? The victim plays the whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done. Something terrible has happened. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death? Okay, hold on. What? Now things are getting crazy. What? What? Huh? Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. But Phoenix said he's never lost before.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can't lose! Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years! Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case in my first 7 years as prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. Why do you guys always present evidence later? Hi, Aya, thank you! Ace A777. Dang. Oh, I guess it's both full house, but because he had kings instead of sevens, he won. These are the poker chips as they lay in the very moment of the crime. Hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim. Chips, you say? Yeah, I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Added to the court record. Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness, but it said that he was... That night, customer asked me to deal cards for the game. You were dealing cards? Do you do this often? Yeah, I'm doing this. Customer wishes it. I serve anything. Broche, cards, more broche. It's my work. It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Broche Bowl Club, where the broche is as warm as the waitress. Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. It's already April. How could it be cold? We have pride in authentic, rustic Russian restaurant theme. Outside is a city in spring, but inside is always as cold as Mother Russia. No way I'm going there. When it comes to hot broche, cold is best seasoning. Oh. Cool. Victim, he plays whole time with hand on locket at his neck. His locket? I believe it was a good luck charm. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. Though if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift. The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about. I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket. Of course! I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that. No, a locket's a locket. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing, or hard of understanding. So, what happened next? They're always fighting in this courtroom, but like, not in a different way. Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. They're like fighting. They're always fighting in this courtroom. They're fighting for justice, but also they're always just fighting each other. It's so silly. Something terrible. Eek! The defense will refrain from needless shouting. Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss O'Reilly, can you tell us what happened? Oh, I was so frightened. I tremble with fear. That man flew at the victim and is strangling him to death. But the defendant would never do such a thing. Eek! Well now, can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic. If possible, please refrain from embarrassing me. Still, why would anyone do something like that over a game of poker? Perhaps it's because defendant has lost game? Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it always is with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Mr. Wright. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, I've got you now. So I probably just have to present this, right? Wow, there really is snow in here. I didn't even notice it at first, but there really is snow everywhere inside of here. How are his toes not cold? Phoenix? So, to the point where she said that he strangled him, I probably have to just present the autopsy, because in the autopsy, I think it would have mentioned that there was, like, usually, right, in autopsies they say if there was struggling. From what I assume. I'm gonna save. But I think that if someone had strangled him or attempted to and then hit him, they would have written like the victim also suffered from strangling. Present.
Objection!
Oh! Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd. Normal customer only choke on No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss O'Reilly. Really now? Did you witness the crime? Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. Still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it's a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with the hat off during the investigation. Is he bleeding? But I thought his hat was white. That's quite shocking, isn't it? This head certainly was hit. Yeah. But I have seen it happen. The defendant, He lunged at victim. His neck. Oh, really, Miss O'Reilly? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice. I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. Such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too. How did he hear inner monologue? How did you know? What? How did he know? Customer asked for me to deal cards in the game. Both players play with hats on. Why is this important? Victim plays the whole time with his hands on this locket. I can go back, right? Okay. I just want to look. But he's not wearing the... But he's not wearing a locket. Photo of forehead. Hat removed during investigation. Defendant and victim chips when crime took place. He's definitely wearing it here. Sub-basement. I don't think he's wearing it here either. Phone. Something terrible has happened. Both players play with hats on. I mean, yeah, they're both wearing hats. He's wearing it here too. He has the locket on here, but he doesn't have it on here. Do I present this? Hat on. Hat on. But there's no locket.
Objection!
Oh? You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is that you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on a locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. Thanks, boss! I'm doing my best! But what does it mean? If I were to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death. Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Oh! Oh, defendant? What do you have to say to this? He's just a little smug guy. Say. Yes? I just noticed this, but... What?! You have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Wait, was it always there? Oh? You mean this? Yeah, it's a locket with a photograph inside. Yes? Oh. A photo of my daughter? Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? He confirmed at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. What? So Oh, Mr. Right has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? What? What? Well now, if the result of the poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost. Badly. Oh? Miss O'Reilly? You will testify to the court about the gameplay between the victim and the defendant. She doesn't... It doesn't seem like she wants to. The game began with 3,500 points and chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning was the victim. For the last hand, the defendant play with all chips on the table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabbed bottle from the table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow. Oh, how many times have I heard these words? I'd done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor. Now I regret it. A common tale, but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Oh, methinks. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. He's so silly. Game began with 3,500 points and chips for each man. Are those the usual starting points? Were there any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules. Each man began with 3,500 points, then the total would be... Exactly 7,000 points. Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Nah. Of course. Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Oh. I think you should. Maybe you could explain a bit about the chips, because I don't know how much like the black ones are worth, and because there's 2 different colors. So maybe she can tell us how much black is worth and how much red is worth. Explain? What is there to be explained? Slay. Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip of the old block. Not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? I can't get over this animation. Why is he so cute? Rebels even? Yet. As I have been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chips. 100-point chips and 1,000-point chips. Okay, so that means the black ones are worth 100. And the red ones are worth 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6,000, and then that means there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they get 3 red. Wait! 3 red? Wait, red is worth more than black! So it looks like he has more, but he actually has 2,900, and Phoenix had 4,100. Oh! It's not money. Justice. Sir! Don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. Have to add it to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add her testimony? Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness. If you would be so kind. He's so silly. One kind of chip is worth 100 points, the other is worth 1,000. Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice? Do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We're not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I better think of something to ask. And quick, the 2 types of chips. Yeah? The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1,000. Right? Right, of course. Huh. Don't waste our time. Is that all? Yeah. Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her. Now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice? Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? Simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation? Oh, okay. So that was what I needed to figure out. But I also want to know what else she's gonna say, so I'm gonna press everything once. The one who was winning was the victim. You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing? Yeah. Must have been most unlucky day for him. I'm glad I didn't take another picture of him. It would break the camera, certainly. The chips, they went always to victim's side of the table. So you're telling us it was a one-sided game. Ah, one-sided. And last hand, defendant play with all chips on the table and lose. Last hand? Largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. Tried to use it to take victory from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. Truly an excellent hand. However, so is the victim's. One with the highest number wins, and the defendant loses. Victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next. Once card laid down on table, it happened. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabbed bottle from the table and... And? What happened next? Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. I didn't believe such a thing would happen. What such a thing? Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such a thing occur? What such a thing? The defendant had been hitting victim. I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle coming down on victim's head. Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir. Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Is it this one? The one who was winning was the victim. I'm not sure if I should present it to this one. Okay. I definitely have to present this photo. It's very obvious, well now, because we figured it out, that... But this is the new testimony, so I think I should present it to this one, because they added a new testimony into it. Or... But I don't... I think it should be this one. One kind of chip is worth 100 points, the other kind is worth 1,000 points. 2 kinds in all. The one who was winning, it was the victim. But that's a lie. Okay. Maybe this one. Because this one is not a lie. This is true, but this is a lie. So maybe here.
Objection!
You sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. Seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at this picture is enough to tell you who won. You're not in kindergarten. Keep roasting Apollo! Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and large chips. Tell me, which is worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see. 3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all of the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right, there's only one possible way to explain the contradiction. Chip count was wrong, starting points were wrong, both were right. Starting points are... What? Oh no. Can I save? Me every time I have to make a decision. Okay. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. The starting points were wrong. The chip count was wrong. Both were right. No, they were both right. Right? Because by saying starting points were wrong, it's not. No. Both were right means that the amount of chips were right and that the points were right. It's not saying that the starting points were wrong and the chip count was wrong. It's saying that both the chip count was right and the starting points were right. We're just being gaslit. So I think it's number 3. Because the starting points were right. The chip count was right. I'm gonna go with C. I'm scared. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can only be one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips are worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and then 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. What do you mean by that? I did! Boss, I'm doing my best here! Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing! Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Can we not count? Guys? Oh, we can. Ah! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now. Seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible. My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Yeah! Now, Miss O'Reilly, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime. Weren't you? Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive. And Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves, excuse me? What is it, Miss O'Reilly? I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss O'Reilly? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat! What? A cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing! Yes, there was a cheat in last hand. That's why the game ends with chips as they are. But wouldn't that mean that Phoenix won? Great, just great. First, we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken a turn. For the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. Girl! The final hand. The last hand, both men had a full house. 4 of each card in the deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hand, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. Defendant's trick was exposed. What? I thought maybe they had the same suit. What? King, 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 7. Oh, does she mean the back of the card? Wait, I don't know. He took bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. What? Wait. 7, 7, 7, king, king. I'll let her finish. Miss O'Reilly, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled the cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? No way! What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? Can't say this bodes well for your case or career? That's just... What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 3 of a kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. They both have a full house, though. We forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. Ahem. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If you did cheat in the last hand, still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright, lost that hand? Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? He has no trust in him. I can't really see anything. Ace, ace, 777. There's like a card here and a card here, but this is probably... This can't be an ace because the ace spade always looks like this in the middle. I mean, you wouldn't put it at the top regardless. So this is probably a 2, and this is probably a 4. Or it could be a 6. Ace, ace. Let's see. Maybe I just gotta push. We just gotta press and see what happens. Last hand, both men had a full house. Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway? Pretty difficult. It is quite hard. Making a pair and a 3 of a kind at the same time. Yes, that's right. Very difficult to be sure. Can take my word as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Very difficult, but it's not impossible. Okay, full house. Hard. This line of questioning. A waste of time. Apollo! 4 of each card in the deck, from ace to king. 4 of each card, you say? Yeah. 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that this number 4 comes from number of seasons. Huh? You don't say. Oh. Did you know that... Did you know that these cards are numbered 1 to 13? All the cards in the deck, and you get 364. A year! Huh? Oh, you're right. That's why each deck has 2 jokers. Say the second joker stands for the leap year. Is this real? I had no idea! Thus you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards. Huh, you don't say. You're going to be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going on like this. You look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. How is it clear? Well, the defendant... He played a 5th ace. What? A 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. What? Mr. Wright's too. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand. Girl? Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony. Without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces and Mr. Wright's too. 5 aces in all. A 5th ace? Ah, should not exist, no? Still remember both hands very well. Oh, I see. Okay. But that's not what it looked like at all. Where did this card come from then? Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law. Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. You bet. I have no intention of staying quiet. Not me. No, sir. Better find some contradicting evidence fast. I'm still gonna press everything. Next moment, game becomes argument. Defendant's trick was exposed. Do you recall what the men were arguing about? I believe so. Victim, he shouts, "You are a cheater!" And then the defendant shouts something like, "I have objection!" Shouting objection, eh? Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life. However, Mr. Wright lost the hand. That seems to cast a shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith. Humiliation from losing even when cheating. That's what set fire to the defendant's heart. So what did the flaming defendant do next? Took a bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith. By bottle, are you referring to this? Ah, the defendant used this bottle to... This behavior is admission of cheating by the defendant. Well, why use a grape juice bottle? You'd be surprised at what can be used as a weapon. That juice is recommended drink of Brush Bowl Club. This year's vintage is remarkable for its hefty flavor. Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she says it was a serious competition. Now she's saying there was cheating? Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me. Alright, so... Man had a full house. Oh, here. Present picture of the hands, right? He doesn't have 3 aces? Girl! We're about to... My favorite part about these games is that when you present the right evidence on the right point, the music stops and it gets so dramatic and like, you just know. Like when the music stops, when they yell objection, it just feels so good! Like this.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that even the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony? Can I click this? Right here. Do I click it? Maybe I just click here. Present. Miss O'Reilly, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Eek! Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating, all right. And it's going on right here in this courtroom. Two aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces in total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please! It is true. I've seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying. Yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies are in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind. Perhaps you might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne? Yes? The players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well. The prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? Probably the victim, right? If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which one of these hands is more suspicious? Probably the victim. I feel probably the victim. Right? I mean, I feel like seven and ace is like way more likely than king and ace. This is, well, I guess the probability is the same, but sussy, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're the same odds, but just like mentally, it feels like it would be more difficult. Maybe the victim? Paul, what he said. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Received evidence, the victim's hand. Well, time's a-wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. Oh! Hey. Only one of the cards has a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue is so not red, you know? He doesn't like me. That's not the point! He's so silly. The card backs are red. For some reason, I thought they were using blue back cards in the final hand. Oh! I didn't even think about that! Wait! Wait a second there? So only one of his cards is legit? Hey. Yes, sir! Oh. Thank you, game. I'm sorry. When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the arrow keys to turn every which way and B and M to zoom in and out. That should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Sorry, boss. No clues here. Card backs are red. For some reason, I thought that they were using blue cards in the final hand. Didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Huh? Oh, which was it now? He's doing this on purpose. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. Ah! What was that, Miss O'Reilly? No, I merely said, I have, Your Honor? Mr. Gavin, yes? Tell me, what's the easiest way to cheat in poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer! Oh, they were in cahoots! Wait, so you mean... This witness? Miss O'Reilly. She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. Yeah! Order! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Apollo, no! Apollo! Apollo! Your Honor! Please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in Right's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga really conspired to cheat. Not with my client, but with the victim! Mr. Shady. Mr. Shady Smith. Ugh! Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly! Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What? Wait, you don't mean... The defense isn't accusing the witness. Miss Olga O'Reilly, are you? Time for justice! There were 3 people in that room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means... I am! The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga O'Reilly, of murder! Are you sure you don't have to consult with your boss before you say this? Eek! Mr. Payne, where's your witness, Miss Olga O'Reilly? It appears she's lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice, Your Honor. Seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggested a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means? This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it! I held out! I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. Prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
No way! Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is the defendant spewing now? Think. One of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous! Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before! The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix, which means there was cheating. Yes, a card slipped into the deck. A card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. Could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah. Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Mr. Payne, I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna be so honest. I didn't even think about that. Of course it was swapped. Oh. Might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? Hey. Come on. What? Okay, let me think. Single blow to the forehead. Photo of them playing cards. Juice. Phone. I don't think this will do anything for me right now. What? How am I supposed to deduce this? Okay, the girl said that she slipped it to him. Well, she tried to give it to him. Can I save? I can't. Miss Olga said, right, that she swear that she gave it to Phoenix. Wait. No. Heart, spade, diamond. Heart, spade, diamond, ace, ace. They're in a different order, but I don't know if that matters. Wait, but the deck here is blue. I don't think the order matters. Wait. If this is the final hand and the deck is blue, but the cards are red. When was the card swapped into the deck? So this isn't the last... Okay, wait. You said they used the red cards for the final hand. Wait! Uh-huh. Wait, they used the red deck for the final game. But that means that the blue deck is just sitting there? Or does that mean that the blue deck was used? Oh, but this is the photo that was taken after. So they put the blue deck there to mask that it was the blue deck instead of the red deck. So it's actually the red deck that was used, but they put the blue deck there during the photo, which means that it probably changed after the murder. Right? Because he said they were playing red in the last hand. So that means that the card was probably swapped after the murder, because when the photos were taken, they gave the blue deck is on the table instead of the red deck that was used for the... Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly! Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are a different color? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. I didn't even think about that. Quite true. Because he's holding the cards so they can see. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown. After the murder. Oh, man. This is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I didn't even think about that. If you're holding your cards to your opponent, they're going to be able to see the back, obviously. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done. The victim is dead. Only two remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga O'Reilly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue card? I mean, I'm just gonna assume that it was her. I mean, you would assume it was her. Phoenix Wright. Unless he did it himself. But why? Unless at... Unless... Say Phoenix for the meme? What? Someone else? Did he do it at the last second when they were revealing their cards, maybe? I don't think Phoenix would. Think! I'd say the dead guy swapped it. Let's see. The one that swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Right, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga either. What are you suggesting? It's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss O'Reilly at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. What? something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss O'Reilly, then who was it? Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand, and that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards are being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. Person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had to be won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Oh, it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? Me? What? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. The trial has proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during the recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well. The trial will resume in 20 minutes. What? This is crazy. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. Suddenly claimed there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. Must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would like to know the answer to that. The animations are so awesome. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I can't guarantee the outcome. See, you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice. Yes, sir! The judge has summoned me to his chamber, so carry on without me. What? Did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? Wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. I totally forgot about that. There's so much going on! Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. I want to see! Cute! Oh, it says Papa! I thought it just said Pa! I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps we'll meet her at one of these days. Wait! I will, because I saw her character sheet! One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? No, I don't think so. I can't believe you have a child! What? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago? What I did? It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never! Honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like a trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, That's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding. That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. Someone? Someone? But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power! My, power? I had no idea my cords of steel were that special! It's time. The real trial begins now! Do your best! Ah! If you would like to know the continuation of the game, make sure to pick it up. Don't you dare! Nor! How could you do this? No! Let me see. Let me ask. Can I finish? This game is so fun! Apollo is so silly. Oh my god. That was so crazy! That was so crazy. Ugh. That was so crazy and so fun. It's just the first case too! I know! That was so silly. Ugh. Next stream when? I probably will. I want to see you play more. I want to play more too! There will probably be a part 2 to this. I can guarantee. This is so much fun! Why Ace Attorney is so fun, everybody! Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. I want to know the ending so bad. Cliffhanger, no. I'm sorry. Wait, I need to... Oh my goodness, thank you so much again, Capcom, for the opportunity to try out Apollo Justice, the new Ace Attorney trilogy. Of course, not new, but on PC now. Thank you so much again, Capcom, for the opportunity. I'm really slow, but that was so much fun. I didn't think that the cases were gonna be this long, but that's how you know you have jam-packed full of content to enjoy. Oh my god, that was so silly, but so fun. I want to know the ending so bad. Where can we find this on PC? It's on Steam. You can buy it on Steam. You can pick it up on Steam. It just released on Steam like 3 days ago. You can pick it up on Steam. I'm really honored to have this opportunity to play Apollo Justice with all of you. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I always really wanted to play Ace Attorney.
Take that! Hold it!
As a lot of people know, I've played the first one before, but I haven't played past the first game in the original trilogy. So this has given me definitely a good reason to finally pick up the game again. And I would love to go back and play the original trilogy and then play this again, because I think that I would enjoy these games to the moon and back if I played them, and I feel like now I will not be able to stop thinking about this game all night. But now that there's 6 games on Steam now, so perhaps it's time. My Ace Attorney era. My Ace Attorney era is upon us, maybe. Oh god. And the Switch! Yeah, and there's also Daigakuten Saiban, the Great Ace Attorney on Switch as well. So maybe this is going to be my year of Ace Attorney, because I'm very invested now in knowing more about Apollo. He's so cute! And also, who are you? I'm not immune. I'm not immune. But yeah, make sure to check out the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy, which is now available. It comes with so many different features, like this animation. The animation studio, which is so fun that you can just click around. It's a bunch of different characters too. I would cycle through it, but I don't want to show too many characters for the people who are interested in picking up with no spoilers. But you can go through, I think, every single character, and for all 3 games. So it's very awesome when you just want to stare at them. There's also a lot of stuff that I showed earlier, including like character designs. There's the in-game illustrations. You can check out all the CGs, the backgrounds for the games, the movies, all the cutscenes in the game, the key illustrations, everything. You can check it out here. And you can listen to your favorite OSTs as well in the orchestral hall. There's just so many great things jam-packed in this one trilogy. So if you're interested, make sure to check out the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy, which is now available. Thank you so much again, Capcom, for the opportunity. I think this year is my year of Ace Attorney. I'm very deeply invested now. I'm very deeply invested now, and now I need to know more. But I had a lot of fun checking out the first case, and I hope that sometime soon down the road we'll be able to go. I hope that sometime soon we'll be able to go back to this game and we'll finish the first case, and then I'll lose my mind. I'm glad you had fun. I did. But yeah, make sure to check it out. Thank you again, Capcom, and I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for dropping by today's stream.